Hello friends, welcome to Spark Joy Astrology. This is the video for the Capricorn full moon that is coming in on Monday, July 3rd at 5:38 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Our moon is in Capricorn, our sun is in Cancer, and they are directly opposite from one another. This energy asks us to look at where we are nurturing our goals. Capricorn is that goal-oriented energy that is efficient, that is intelligent, very articulate, not so in tune with their emotions because they are so analytical with that plan to keep going one step ahead and meet that goal. And once that goal's met, let's go to the next goal. So very much this queen bee worker energy. So this is coming in odds with the energy of nurturing ourselves, with family, right? With this Cancer energy, the yin energy, that's very much our familiar bonds. But Cancer is this nurturing, feminine, soft energy. So although they are both feminine, Capricorn and Cancer, they have a different feel to them. Capricorn is the time of winter. It has a harshness to it, where Cancer is dead center in the summer. There is this sweetness, this time to recuperate. So these two energies are coming into balance through an opposition, if you can find the balance. Otherwise, they stay at odds with one another. So let's dive into the exact aspects that lead us up to this potent end of a lunar cycle. We're going to start with checking into where our moon was on Sunday, July 2nd. When she first made her first aspect, it was at 3:19 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and she made a trine from 25 degrees of Leo, or rather Sagittarius. Sagittarius is that adventure-seeking energy, so our emotional nature is very expansive and wants to grow and evolve. And so a trine to Mars is asking us to check in with our desires. Are we meeting our desires in our life? Are we using our courageous warrior energy to get what we want? Using our intuition here, because the moon is trining Mars, we're able to really get into deep motivations. Sex is definitely something that's rather wonderful and potent around this particular energy blending. So you may want to wake up. Maybe you did wake up on Sunday morning and had some fun with your partner, but Mars would be very happy if that is what you chose to do. It is a hot and steamy aspect. And that leads me to Mars being right next to Venus in the sign of Leo. So it sets a tone for our energy of this full moon. Because the lovers are only 3 degrees apart in the sign of the heart, Leo, there is a flavor of hotness, sparkiness to this energy of the moon, as well as the sun being in Cazimi with Mercury. There is this heightened energy around communication. Juno is right there with Mercury and the sun, the asteroid of partnership and commitment. So this full moon is definitely flavored with partnership, friends. And the moon checking in with Mars right off the bat spices it up. So let's move to our next aspect at 7:33 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. The moon moved to 27 degrees. And here she squared from Sagittarius the house of Pisces. Pisces at 27 degrees is Neptune, who just went retrograde. So this is our moon's first check-in after the veil of illusion has been lifted with Neptune, to really find some emotional challenge. Honestly, a square is going to bring in challenge. So this can be a moment of reckoning in this reality check that we've been going through the last day or two. So an alignment to this new reality through this tense aspect of a square, we might have to fight a little bit to feel like we've figured out this groove of this new reality. So this is an energy, though, that is imaginative. Whenever Neptune is involved, we have the ability to tune into the higher realms of life and allow some clarity to come in. So let Neptune, now in this retrograde motion, give you inner intel, right? Inner intel to make your outer world a little bit more clear. Okay, our next aspect is actually the biggest one of the day that sticks with us through tomorrow, or rather July 3rd, if you're listening to it on July 3rd. So this flavors our new moon. This is Venus at 21 degrees of Leo squaring Uranus at 21 degrees of Taurus. Uranus is freedom-seeking, unpredictability, instability. It is revolutionary energy. And Venus is our relationship energy, our financial energy. And so the square of these two can bring in instability and challenges in relationships around finances. So there could be unpredictable, unexpected events or urges that pop up during this time, 8:33 in the morning. So an increased need for freedom and excitement can test intimate bonds and relationships. So using this energy in a wonderful way would be to actually take advantage of spontaneity within relationships. Do it together, friends. Keep your minds open and flow. That's Uranus is this lightning bolt energy that if you can flow with it, will actually deliver really wonderful, amazing experiences quite often. So it's a fun one. Okay, this is flavoring our moon though. Just have that in your mind as we move forward, knowing that, it is about partnership. And now we're dealing with something that's sparking off some sort of unexpected lesson to glean onto. So, okay. 11:20 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time on Sunday, the moon moves into Capricorn. This is the house in which she reaches out to Cancer and makes that opposition to the sun. So she just enters Capricorn at 11:20 a.m. Capricorn, I've mentioned it a little bit already, goal-oriented, very productive, very composed, very intellectual, all about those goals and taking one step each day at a time, very responsible. So we've stepped out of this adventurous, expansive mindset of our moon being in Sagittarius, and now we're ready to do the work, friends. And the work tonight is really putting in intention into this evening of the full moon. We have the next aspect coming in between 12:12 p.m. and 1:52 p.m. This is the moon coming into contact with the north and south node. The moon being in Sagittarius is 5 houses away from the north node in Taurus, making a trine aspect. The south node is 3 houses away from Sagittarius, making a sextile. So our moon is sextiling and trining the north and south node. These are the nodes of destiny and fate. They are aligned with the moon energy. So to have the moon speaking to these particular points with positive aspects really enhances our ability to tune in intuitively. Hello, Mr. Moon in Capricorn. Let's do the work. Let's get in there. Let's tune into our intuition and let's dial into our true calling, friends. This is a check-in with the moon. We have a few amazing, or nodes rather, with check-in with the nodes coming up this month. Pluto will be squaring the nodes, giving us that skipped step chance to look at deep shadow work and transform. So the nodes being big players this month, our moon stepping in, checking them out right away with some positivity is giving us a boost, friends, to our intuition. So this intuitive boost would have been a beautiful power play when it came to conversing today, or rather Sunday if you're listening on Monday. We had our Cazimi Mercury Sun happening, but it is falling out of that little protective bubble of the sun, that 0 to 3 degree range where the planet is riding the chariot of the sun. It's now Mercury moving into that point where it's going to be burned by the rays of the sun, which is called combust. And so the ability for Mercury to communicate and analyze information is drowned out by those rays of sun. So our communication abilities are also drowned out. So, friends, if you had some potent intuitive communications on July 2nd, you were flowing correctly, friends. Okay, our next aspect comes in at 10:43 p.m. The moon moves to 7 degrees of Capricorn, sextiling our happy little retrograde Saturn in Pisces. This is going deep energy. Mature, wise Saturn sextiling our moon brings in a balancing energy this evening. So the ability to get serious around full moon ceremonies or any other spiritual practices that you may have around full moons, this really blends beautifully into it. Saturn is bathing in the spiritual waters of Pisces with Neptune, who's now gone retrograde as well. This is all inner awakening energy, friends. So if you can use Sunday evening to really get into your wise spiritual practices, you will be able to pull in this whole new foundation, if you will, this nurturing foundation to allow you to have that energy to push into achieving your goals. So sit down, meditate, get into those disciplines of your spiritual dimension, and I promise they will be extra juicy on Sunday evening, leading you into that full moon. The first aspect of Monday before the full moon is a beautiful one, friends. This is when our moon comes to 9 degrees and from Capricorn makes that trine to Jupiter over there in Taurus. This is expansive feelings of benevolence, right? Jupiter is that good vibes, and our moons is the emotional nature of ourselves. So the ability to tune into some good moods early in this morning is really, really potent. And what a wonderful way to ring in the Capricorn full moon that comes a couple hours later at 5:39 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. 11 degrees and 19 minutes. Our moon is in Capricorn, and directly across from her at 11 degrees and 19 minutes is the sun in Cancer, shining all his beautiful beams into the face of that moon so she can illuminate brightly. And through this opposition, we are being asked how we are allowing flow in our life and where we're allowing that flow to be constricted. Right? That nurturing Cancer water energy with that rigid power and control of Capricorn. So, you know, this energy, whenever you have an opposition, there is this pull and tug and adjustment that needs to be given. So where, friends, in your own life are you not flowing into what you want to create as far as your career, your passions, your work, you know, and how maybe do you need to nurture yourself more because you're doing too much of that? So it is this give and take and pull and tug. Capricorn is an earth sign. She wants that foundation, and then Cancer is that water sign. It wants this flow. So, you know, there is a balance to strike here. And when you find that beautiful balance, friends, that's when, you know, we get into this flow state and this particular energy, right? We have Capricorn. Who rules Capricorn is Saturn. Saturn is in Pisces. Pisces is home to Saturn and Neptune, who both are retrograde now. So in these Pisces spiritual waters, we have two planets asking us to go inward, the planet of maturity and the planet of spirituality. So these, you know, potent spiritual practices, if we've been employing them since Saturn went retrograde in March, we really have the chance to find if they're bringing us that balance today. So redefining structures with less rigidity if you do find that there needs to be an adjustment to that pull and that give and take. And just really being able to go inward with those two retrograde planets in Pisces and examine where we can bring that water element, that flow, to allow more flexibility, more nourishing energy, and more strength. Water is one of the most beautiful elements in that it's strong enough to cut through stone, hello Grand Canyon, but soft enough to be this beautiful beadlet of water and morning dew on a leaf. You know, it has this incredible versatility. So where can you bring this versatility into achieving your goals? That is what this full moon is asking at this peak cycle. How has that happened in your life, and how can we adjust to make it happen more, friends? You know, Saturn ruling this moon and tying in all these beautiful Pisces waters is very spiritual, but we also have a big player happening as far as Pluto. Pluto is in Capricorn. He is at 29 degrees. He's retrograde. So many retrograde planets happening in this moon cycle. But he's at the very end of Capricorn. And he is finishing a cycle that started in 2008. And so there is a lot going on with this full moon, asking us since 2008 if we have, at this point now, found this balance between achieving goals and nurturing ourselves. So friends, a big Pluto cycle coming to an end. It's a slow end, as Pluto does move very slowly. But this full moon is highlighting Pluto, who will be squaring the North and South node this month. So, okay, let's see. Looking at my notes, where is life flowing? Where do you have that water moving? Where is life constricted? Where do you have that rigidity, friends? Just re-looking at that as we move out of the full moon exactness and into our next aspect at 10:50 a.m. We find the moon at 14 degrees, making an opposition to Mercury. Mercury is right next to the sun. He's at 14 degrees and the sun was at 11, so they are in that orb, still in that, you know, almost cazimi, but almost combust mode, so still able to have some potent conversations at 10:50 a.m. on Monday. But this is a time where maybe withdrawal is more needed by you, because when Mercury is opposing our moon, rationality, emotionality is at odds. There is this give and take. Again, we're at an opposition, so this push and pull. So communicating feelings might feel being at odds. So a withdrawal around this time might be a good idea. And the next aspect actually lends itself to that as well. It's further on in the evening though, so you know there's some tension from 11 a.m. all the way up to 7:14 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, when our moon at 19 degrees of Cap squares Chiron at 19 degrees of Aries. Chiron, our wounded healer, square, which is aspect of the warrior Mars, our moon, can bring up hurt feelings, friends, around deep pains, deep wounds, deep resentments. It can also bring up how we are needing to do more healing work. Maybe we've already identified those wounds and something came back up to spark the desire to have to heal it a little bit more. So, you know, we're looking for emotional validation here and maybe not finding it. So work through possible hypersensitivity. This is a challenging one, so I send you love for this particular aspect, 7:14 Mountain Daylight Time in the evening. And the last aspect of the day, friends, on Monday, right before 4th of July, we have 10:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, the moon moving to 21 degrees of Capricorn and making a trine, benevolent Jupiter aspect. So this is juicy to Uranus at 21 degrees of Taurus. This is where, you know, Taurus is what we are working with energy-wise to create things from thought into reality. It's the manifestor energy, it's earth element. And so this particular aspect with Uranus is asking us, now that we have this new moon, you know, hopeful balance, where can we invigorate a lightning bolt of energy into our life, right? Lightning bolt, that's Uranus. It is this brainstorming, download, creative energy. So to have this, you know, in the day after the full moon, we're able to kind of open up and allow our intuitive nature to receive a benevolent download. You know, Jupiter is also hanging out in Taurus, flavoring this energy. So expansive, fun look at how we are maybe not nurturing ourselves to create our goals, or how we need to nurture ourselves more and work less. Pluto, friends, is where I'm going to end it, just because, you know, I think I have actually spoken already to him in the North Node and the South Node. So that's where I want to highlight. Again, this month is about healing, flowing, finding that nurturing energy into those goals. And as our nodes move past Pluto at 29 degrees and have that intense check-in, they will then move out of Taurus and Scorpio and into Aries and Libra. This is going to be a huge shift, friends. So I'm very excited to get into these aspects each day. Wow, it is almost dark out. Like, it's taken me so much time to get to this video because, friends, I've been dealing with the energy of nurturing versus getting my goals done, family versus me. And that is what the nodal shift into Aries and Libra is very much about as well, friends. This shift of me and loving me as much as I need to so that I can really love those around me. It's gonna be a fun adventure, and I'm so happy to be here guiding you along with these crazy aspects. And happy Capricorn full moon, friends. May you be nurtured in your wisdom. I love you. Mwah.